Hello there, history and economics fans. Welcome to another thrilling episode where we unravel the fascinating tales of the past and their economic implications. Tonight, we're diving headfirst into the epic tale of Greece's economic roller coaster ride. From the ancient times to the modern era, Greece has seen it all. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild one, full of more twists and turns than a Greek tragedy, but with slightly more laughs, hopefully. Imagine a journey where every peak and valley tells a story of resilience, innovation, and sometimes sheer luck. Our story begins in ancient Greece, a land of sun-drenched islands, philosophical debates that could knock out a Spartan, and enough drama to make even the most jaded reality TV producer blush. Picture Socrates and Plato in heated discussions, while the backdrop of the Aegean Sea glistens under the sun. Back then, Greece wasn't a unified country, but a collection of city-states, each with its own personality, government, and, yes, economic engine. From the militaristic Sparta to the democratic Athens, each city-state had its own way of doing things, and this diversity was both a strength and a challenge. These city-states weren't exactly swimming in gold like Scrooge McDuck. Their wealth was modest, and their economies were built on the backs of hard-working citizens. Their economies relied heavily on agriculture, with olives, grapes, and grains being the VIPs of the crop world. Olives were particularly prized, not just for their culinary uses, but also for their oil, which was a valuable commodity. But the Greeks were also savvy traders, sailing the Aegean and Mediterranean seas, hawking their wares like a bunch of toga-clad infomercial hosts. They exported olive oil, wine, and other goods to far-off lands, establishing trade routes that would last for centuries. Pottery, because who doesn't love a good amphora, and even marble statues were among their exports. These items were not just functional but also works of art, showcasing the Greeks' incredible craftsmanship. Think of it as the ancient world's version of Amazon Prime, but with less packaging and more potential for scurvy. The bustling markets were the lifeblood of these city-states, where traders haggled, deals were struck, and fortunes were made and lost. And let's not forget the cultural impact. The economic activities of these city-states funded some of the greatest achievements in art, philosophy, and science. Theaters were built, plays were performed, and ideas were exchanged in the agora, the public square. Religion also played a significant role. Temples dedicated to gods like Zeus, Athena, and Apollo were not just places of worship but also economic centers. Pilgrims would travel from far and wide, bringing offerings and boosting local economies. Fast forward to modern times, and Greece's economy has seen its fair share of ups and downs. From the post-World War II boom to the financial crisis of the late 2000s, Greece has had to navigate some turbulent waters. The financial crisis was a particularly challenging period, with austerity measures, protests, and significant economic reforms. But through it all, the spirit of resilience that characterized ancient Greece has endured. Today, Greece is reinventing itself once again. With a focus on innovation, technology, and sustainable development, the country is looking to the future while honoring its rich past. Greek entrepreneurs are making waves in various industries, from tech startups to green energy. And let's not forget the cultural renaissance. Greek cuisine, music, and festivals continue to captivate the world, drawing tourists and fostering a sense of national pride. The olive groves, vineyards, and wheat fields still thrive, connecting the present to the past. So there you have it, folks. From ancient city-states to modern innovations, Greece's economic journey is a testament to its enduring spirit and adaptability. Stay tuned for more fascinating tales from history and economics. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious. Now let's fast forward to the Hellenistic period, a time when a certain Macedonian named Alexander the Great decided to conquer, well, pretty much everything. His ambition knew no bounds, and his military campaigns stretched from Greece all the way to the edges of India. But Alexander's legacy wasn't just about the lands he conquered, it was also about the cultural and economic transformations he set in motion. Alex wasn't just a military genius, he was also a bit of an accidental economist. His campaigns led to the widespread dissemination of Greek culture, language, and importantly, Greek currency. The drachma became a common medium of exchange in the vast territories he controlled, facilitating trade and economic integration on an unprecedented scale. His conquests spread Greek culture, ideas, and yes, even coinage throughout the known world. This wasn't just about military dominance, it was about creating a unified economic and cultural sphere. Greek art, philosophy, and science found new audiences, and Greek became the lingua franca of the Hellenistic world. This Hellenistic world was a melting pot of cultures and economies, with Greek becoming the unofficial language of trade and diplomacy. Merchants, scholars, and travelers from different regions could communicate and conduct business more easily, thanks to this shared language and currency. The economic benefits were immense, as goods, ideas, and people moved more freely across borders. It was like the ancient equivalent of winning the lottery for Greece, except instead of a giant check, they got a vast network of trade routes and a currency that everyone from Egypt to Afghanistan recognized. This economic integration helped to stabilize and enrich the regions under Hellenistic influence, creating a period of prosperity and cultural flourishing. This era saw the rise of major cities like Alexandria in Egypt, a bustling hub of commerce and learning that made Athens look like a sleepy retirement village. Alexandria became a center for trade, attracting merchants from all over the known world. Its famous library and institutions of learning drew scholars and intellectuals, making it a beacon of knowledge and culture. The city's strategic location and vibrant economy turned it into one of the most important urban centers of the ancient world, embodying the spirit of the Hellenistic age. But all good things, as they say, must come to an end, especially when the Romans show up with their legions and their love of conquering things. By the 2nd century BC, Greece had been absorbed into the Roman Republic, becoming another jewel in the Roman Empire's increasingly gaudy crown. Now, Roman rule wasn't all bad. It brought about the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability that was great for trade and not getting stabbed by barbarians. But it also meant that Greece became just another province, its economic fortunes increasingly tied to Rome's whims. Think of it like being the talented younger sibling of a super successful older brother. Sure, you get some benefits, but you're always stuck in their shadow. Section 4. Byzantine Blues, 1,000 years of not much economic growth. Fast forward a few centuries and the Roman Empire, like your favorite band from high school, had broken up. The eastern half, centered on Constantinople, which is modern-day Istanbul, became the Byzantine Empire. And guess what? Greece was still there, caught in the middle of this new empire's drama. The Byzantines, despite their love of gold mosaics and religious debates, weren't exactly economic powerhouses. They had their moments. Sure, but for the most part, the Byzantine era was a time of relative economic stagnation for Greece. Imagine 1,000 years of more or less the same economic situation. It's enough to make even the most enthusiastic historian reach for the strongest coffee available. Section 5. Ottoman occupation, it's not you, it's me, and my taxes. By the 15th century, a new player had entered the Mediterranean game, the Ottoman Empire. This was a time of great change and upheaval in the region, as the Ottomans began to assert their dominance over the Mediterranean, reshaping the political and economic landscape. The Ottomans, with their turbans and their terrifyingly effective janissaries, conquered Constantinople in 1453. Officially bringing the Byzantine Empire to an end. This event marked a significant turning point in history, as the city, now known as Istanbul, became the new capital of the Ottoman Empire, symbolizing their growing power and influence. Greece, unfortunately, was still on the menu, becoming just another Ottoman province. The once proud and independent Greek states found themselves under the control of a foreign power, their autonomy stripped away as they were integrated into the vast Ottoman administrative system. The Ottomans, while not as economically inept as some empires we could mention, cough cough Byzantines, weren't exactly known for their business acumen either. Their economic policies were often short-sighted, focusing more on immediate gains rather than long-term development, which had significant implications for the regions under their control. Their rule was marked by high taxes, limited economic opportunities for Greeks, and a general sense that the Ottoman Empire was more interested in extracting wealth from its provinces than in actually developing them. The heavy taxation burden placed on the Greek population stifled economic growth and innovation, leading to widespread discontent and hardship. It was like being stuck in a long-term relationship with someone who constantly borrows money but never pays it back. The Greeks found themselves in a situation where they were continually giving but receiving very little in return, creating a sense of frustration and resentment that would simmer for centuries. Despite these challenges, the Greek spirit of resilience and resistance never waned. Throughout the centuries of Ottoman rule, Greeks found ways to preserve their culture, language, and traditions, often in secret, laying the groundwork for future movements of independence and national revival. Today, the legacy of Ottoman rule can still be seen in various aspects of Greek culture and society, but the enduring spirit of the Greek people stands as a testament to their strength and determination to overcome adversity and reclaim their identity. Section 6. Independence. Now what? Greece's rocky start in the 19th century. But fear not, dear reader, for hope was on the horizon. In 1821, after centuries of foreign rule, the Greeks decided they'd had enough. They rose up against the Ottomans in a glorious, messy, and ultimately successful war for independence. Finally, after centuries of playing the economic victim, Greece was free to chart its own course. There was just one small problem. They had no idea how to actually run a country, let alone an economy. The early decades of independence were a chaotic mix of political instability, economic struggles, and a desperate search for a national identity. Imagine a group of teenagers finally moving out of their parents' house, only to realize they have no idea how to do laundry or pay bills.